Welcome to Conference Connections, where we discuss the latest K-20 trends with thought leaders across the industry. In this episode, we chat with Sylvia Stein, president of Stick Together Products at TCEA 2023. The topic of this discussion is group learning, STEAM creativity, and connection. Enjoy Conference Connections, powered by EdCircuit.
Hi everybody, I'm Dan Cavalli with EdCircuit. I'm here today talking to Sylvia from Stick Together. Sylvia, welcome.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Pleasure. Sylvia is the creator and founder of Stick Together, and she's been showing me a whole bunch of cool things that we're excited to share with you today. But why don't you start, first off, give us a little bit of detail about your company and yourself.
Great, wonderful. So this really started at Maker Faire, where I was going, and somebody actually misunderstood and said, "What are you making?" And I thought, well, I'd like to meet people. And so I made a deconstructed, pixelated image, and everybody who passed by said, "Hey, you want to help me make a picture?" And in the end, we had a beautiful image. And what happened was teachers and librarians just came pouring in and demanded the product. So the product, Stick Together, is really group activities, and it really celebrates the power of making together, of big groups of people making something together. And the actual activity is quite mindless and simple, so it's really about them connecting, and then they step back and they see what it is.
So it's a STEAM-based company, right? It falls into that arts world. But I hear a little bit of makerspace in there.
There's makerspace, but there's also social emotional learning. There's also, we used a lot as rewards. We used a lot for the quiet time at the beginning of the day or the end of the day for consolidating learning. So it's just, the kids love them as soon as because it starts as a mystery, and then they're sticking together, and then they realize what it is. So so we have a physical product. That's where we started. Then COVID happened, and so we did a digital one. And the digital one has been just this huge surprise to us because it actually mimics the physical product in ways we never expected, because now they're all back in the classroom. They have their own devices. Now we can have 20, 50, even we had the other day 200 people working on the same image. We had sometimes different classes. We can schedule them. So you can schedule a sticker board and send that out, the link out to the whole school, and at 12 o'clock everyone comes on, has a pixel party, and the thing just sparkles to life. So so it's a fun, it's just a fun group activity. Everyone feels included, everyone participates. There's really, it's very inclusive.
So you said it was a print product, you created a digital version of it. So many companies say that they can create digital and print and have it be seamless. How did you accomplish that?
Yeah, well, they're very different, right? And that's the thing, is they are very different experiences. So, the only reason we did the digital was because of COVID. I would never have done it. It just was, but now that we've done it, but again, the surprise is that they really serve different purposes. Our digital ones are free, so it makes it much more accessible, but some teachers are putting them on smart boards, so there's a gathering there, so it's very similar. They're different products or different production. It's a whole different feel. But what's so nice about the virtual one is that we can have so many more people participating.
Does it work only on the smart board or any whiteboard?
Any device. So mostly teachers use it where the kids are on their individual devices. Okay. They can zoom into a section. And so they're just working on a small section, but up on the big screen, they see the whole thing coming together. But then, as I say, recently we've seen more smart board. It works on any device, works in Google Classroom. It's very flexible.
Okay. So, schools that are using this, is it being adopted at the school level? Or you have any districts using the program today?
Great question. So, we've started, again, I started because teachers and librarians requested, so we started at that. We're just now getting to districts and getting bigger, because really the idea of a stick together community, the more that sticks together, the more it has an impact. About creating a cohesive, supportive community where everyone is engaged. And that includes the physical and the digital. So the digital one is free right now, and you can come, you sign up just with your email, you come to a gallery, there's over 70 images, we're always adding different images, and then you choose one, and then you can configure the dashboard. You can limit the number of stickers each person puts on each day, or do different things like that. In 6 months, we're going to add a feature where you can add your own images, and that we're going to charge a nominal like $10 a year for. So right now, but our gallery is going to be free, and we're actually starting to talk to different partners. Don't want to say yet because we don't have them, but big museums and other cultural institutions who have many, many, many visuals that are already tied to curriculum. And so those visuals you'll be able to put them as a stick together, and then have everybody make the image together.
Interested in sharing your voice with the K-20 and EdTech community? EdCircuit empowers thought leaders across education to share their voices with their audience. Visit edcircuit.com to learn more.
So talk to me a little bit about how this integrates with the curriculum. So if a teacher is teaching a subject, you tell me the subject because it's your
frogs.
right?
Yeah.
Frog. How can you verbally describe that for our audience here without actually showing it?
Yeah. So again, they do a whole lesson on frogs. We're all learning about different frogs. And then at the end, just to bring everyone together, to maybe give them some downtime as a reward for fun, the teacher will put up a link, and all the kids on their devices go to that link, and they get what is basically a grid, and on the side are colors. A is blue and B is brown, and they click on a color, and then they click on a section of the grid, and it blows up. And actually, that letter gets darker, so they know exactly where to click. It's very mindless. There's no way you can go wrong. If you click on the wrong one, it doesn't do anything. But the kids, I have videos which I'll share with you later. The kids get so excited. I'll do blue. I'll do green. 300 stickers left. They're all screaming, and and there's this big eruption when it's finished. It's just a fun. It's a reward. It's again a time for them to just relax and enjoy the topic. We are working on a new interface that's where it can be actually integrated into individual devices, where where the teacher can decide, I want this activity to be 1 minute, and then each time you click, many stickers fill in, so it can go much faster. And that way, a teacher does a lesson on frogs. Each child can have their own frog, and in 1 minute, they each have created their own and the images. They're pixelated, but they look pretty great on devices. They really pop.
That's great.
So, yep.
That's great. So you think about students in today's classroom, right? Social emotional learning, the socialization aspect of education, hands-on learning, modalities of learning. You capture all of that with this solution.
I think so. I mean, that's again. I'm not an educator. I just put it out there, and that's what came back to me was, there's a lot of relaxation. There's a lot of chatting, with our physical product, and even with this one, kids work together who normally wouldn't work together. So, and it's very visual. We have a different product where kids can actually draw in pixels and then print out a worksheet, and then they sticker them, and that's been a big surprise too, because they're very, very, very creative. They do much more beautiful things than I ever imagined. So we're just taking pixels and playing with them every which way. So
it's amazing to see the students, the children, their imagination side.
Yeah.
So this is education, librarians, I'm assuming any type of classroom teacher. What are some of the other markets that you're in? Camps, before, after school?
Yeah, exactly. Camps, after school, we're in a lot of special needs programs. One thing about this is that everybody comes together and is involved. We're going into senior centers, community centers, really it's anywhere where there's a group of people. We're a group activity. This is about bringing people together with no barrier really to entry. And so we have group homes. We've been starting to make some inroads there. And interestingly, also in children's hospitals and psychiatric hospitals where they have group therapy, this is one thing everybody can come together and make something together and have some connection. So,
that's great.
Yeah, very simple idea that has this amazing sort of reach. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So you mentioned deconstructive pixels. Did I say that right?
I call it a deconstructive pixelated image.
So deconstructive pixelated images. For the people that might not understand what that is, can you go a little bit more in depth on that for us?
Yes, so we take a pixelated image, and then we're deconstructing it. The pixelated image is not just pixelated, but it's made up of a finite number of colors. Okay, so each of my images has between 10 and 24 colors. So by deconstructing it, I take the grid that is the pixelated image, and instead of the color, I have a letter. So A is brown, and B is black, or whatever.
Okay.
And then we have a color key, and then we have stickers. So we sort of take it all apart, and then what you do is you look at the color key, you take a sticker, you look at the color, and then you find that letter, and then you just put it on. So again, it takes about a nanosecond to explain, and often at these events, I have to say, we have the kids who are on the spectrum, special needs, who just really love this activity, and I usually put them in charge. And then the next people come, they explain it, because it takes 2 seconds to explain. Hey, just take a, And so then, everyone's just sticking together, and then in the end, they step back. And that's the nice thing also about this, is that when you're close up, it's really just about the interaction with other people and chatting, because you can't really see what you're doing. But then you step back and the image really pops. And we actually have people a lot of times hold up their phones, because even that makes it pop even more. It's really, there's a magic to it. So there's a little magic to all of the products a little bit, because pixels are pretty magical.
Well, everybody loves color. Everybody loves hands-on activities.
Yeah.
That's just wonderful.
So
you said also that you had sort of your background is very mission-driven.
Yeah.
So what ultimately is the mission of Sticking Together?
Yeah, it's really, our mission is to create experiences that celebrate making together, and the power of making together, and the power of personal connections, and what that can lead to. So I always say I'm not really selling a poster and stickers. I'm selling quality, valuable, inclusive time together. We often get librarians and teachers saying, kids come together that never would come together ordinarily. So I would say that's really what I want people to take away from this. I mean, this is not really art or creative or really even collaboration. I mean, yes, we're working together, but we're not. But it's really about quality time together, and then something special. Making something special, being part of something special. So,
That's great. Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was great, and we look forward to seeing some of the videos in the future on Stick Together.
Great. Good. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate this.
This episode of Conference Connections was powered by EdCircuit. EdCircuit's mission is to share guidance and expertise in facilitating the appropriate use of digital technology in education. Through our weekly articles, podcasts, and video series, we give a voice to members of the K-20 and EdTech communities. To learn more about our mission and various content, visit edcircuit.com and subscribe to be up to date on the latest thought leadership in the educational industry. For more information, follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.